And we're live. Wow, this is way
What's
too
going
exciting for what
on?
we're doing. Yeah, so we're doing another hangout with me and Stacy and whoever else wants to come in. The link is down in the chat. If you guys want to join the hangout, you can do that. If you want to ask some questions via chat, you are also welcome to do that. So until then, we chill and talk about graphs.
You got
So
it.
I'll start off with something. I've been thinking about doing TTMs again lately. And I've been thinking about yeah, I know. So I've been thinking about the appropriate way to attack it. Because I run a business. And if I do TTMs, I guarantee you I'm going to end up selling some stuff. Give me a second. Let me get into our chat here so I can see what's going on. Give me 1 second. Well, that's the wrong button.
Hey, Henry, what's going on?
So yeah, I'm really wanting to jump back in TTMs, but I want to do it in an ethical way. I don't want to write to people for profit. That's just not right. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people do it. Don't get me wrong, but the ethics of it are a little. Let me do a pop-out chat. All right. Anyways, so I think I've come up with a little solution, at least
All
for
right.
now, on how to do it. And it's actually inspired by an old collection that I saw from the 1920s, and I really like the way they did it. Things. So basically, they sent out back then. They didn't have a lot of photos readily available. It was rare to have like photos to sign.
Yeah.
So they sent out these little cards. They're like business cards, but they were very high end. This person was very wealthy. Of course, it'd be easy to do now since you have your access to cards. And they didn't have the person's name on them that signed them or anything. They basically just had like a line and some information that's of the person that collected the autograph, like their address and some stuff like that. And they said the personal from the personal collection of, and then I had like a box underneath it where the person that was famous signed. And they sent these all around the world to get famous signatures, and it was amazing. It was an amazing collection. I had a few of them that I actually sold one recently. That's kind of the reason I got the idea. And I'm thinking about doing that, just like having invested in some really like nice like cards that I can buy, real thick cards to sign.
Yeah.
Maybe make some for me and my wife, and go from there and just send the cards out, the blank cards. The only problem I'm going to run into is people not wanting to sign blank things. But I think that'll be a pretty low number of people. I mean, I know it's a problem, but majority of people sign blank things. So, what do you think?
Yeah, that's definitely a decent idea. I mean, I always used to send index cards, and I
Yeah,
would
but
say
see,
probably 80% of the time they would get signs. So
yeah, but like I don't know. I feel like I could get some rarer stuff if the card already had my name on it.
yeah,
I feel like they'd be more likely to sign that than just a plain index card that they know is probably gonna get sold down the line. And I don't know. I just kind of like the idea of having a collection that I could stick in a binder that's totally uniform with just the signature's the only difference. Like that's
yeah,
kind of cool to me. Um, so I'm thinking if I do jump back in, that's the way I'm gonna do it.
it's a good idea. Definitely have to see how it goes.
Yeah, I'd like to see if I could get some people that like normal TTMs wouldn't reach. Some of those astronauts that only sign books and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like since it's so personal and they know it's not going to be sold, they might be a little more likely to sign. And if you everybody that does TTMs knows once you get the big fish in, that's what motivates you to go another month.
yep,
Like you get that big one in and you're like, oh yeah, I want more.
yep.
So then you throw like $10 down the drain, throwing to addresses that haven't been used in 15 years or something,
Yeah.
But so that's what I'm thinking. We'll see. I haven't made a decision yet, but I definitely want the cards to be nice, like very nice quality. like not just a business card I printed off, like something order.
Yeah.
I actually, for my business, I have a designer that designs like ad work for the Savage Library. She does. I came up with the idea, and she did the work, and it was a bookmark that you can put in the book that people can write notes on. So you don't want to write an assigned book, so they write the notes on the bookmark. And I think I might contact her and have her design me something real cool, because she designs stuff for like semi-famous authors like every day, and she's pretty cheap. So we'll see.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, and it'd be easy. I mean, like the letter, and I'd probably do a form letter because I just don't have time to handwrite anymore. Do a form letter and with tweaks, and just pump them out.
Yeah.
Pump them out. Not to the point of Stacey Schaefer. I may send Stacey one of my cards to get his autograph, and like I'll have to like somehow put the Getty image on the front, like the
Exactly.
little trademark, and have him sign over the Getty image.
You know it. Yeah, I just hit 1,400.
Jeez, man, that's all. I saw you got all your Star Tiger listings updated for the successes.
Yep, I got everything. I got everything I've sent since I've come back logged on there, at least as far as the request and the successes. So,
congratulations! I'm a big fan of feeding your sources. I think it's important. There's a big debate going on right now on Star Tiger between some people on the forums if feeding the sources is a good thing or a bad thing because of the quote unquote lurkers, the people that pay for the service but don't post anything and basically use it to profit. So I'm always for feeding the sources, but there's an argument going on right now, like I said, against it. I was curious where everybody kind of falls on that. Like I said, I'm for it. And I think the more information that's out there, the better the hobby is. And Star Tiger is a paid site. It's not a free site. So if it was a free site, feed your sources. But I would, if you had one that was like huge, I mean, if it was me, I'd give it to a few friends first, and then maybe down the line publish it. But since Star Tiger is a paid site, feed your sources, man. What do you think, Stacey? What do you think about lurkers that kind of use sites like Star Tiger, pay the low price of it, and then exploit it to make money?
I just think it's the name of the game. It's just something you got to expect. And if you're uneasy about an address or something on there, no one's forcing you to put it on there. But like Zane said, it's a good idea to save it for a while. If you got a few friends you want to give it to.
Oh, looky who it is. Mr. Andy
Summers.
Hey, I tried to do this online so you could actually see me, but I'm having a little error problem.
Oh, we don't want to see that face anyway, man. I'm kidding.
I do appreciate that. Thank you.
So, Andy, what do you think about lurkers on Star Tiger? There's a big thread about them right now. They're talking about the people that kind of pay for the service and don't post anything, successes, or don't contribute anything, and then like sell the autographs that they get from the other people's successes. You think that's just part of the hobby, or you like? What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, you're paying for a service, so you might as well use it to your benefit. If it's a money maker for you, or if it's a collection thing, then what are you going to do about it?
I agree. I mean, to a certain extent, though, some of those people don't give a shit about authenticity. That comes into a downfall because there's a lot of TTMs that fall into question there. Like there's some major variations between in-person and TTM stuff from a lot of people. And it seems like some of those people that sell TTMs just don't even care about checking it out before they sell.
Oh yeah, no, just ask Zane about that rabbit hole the other night. We went down the rabbit hole of Aaron Eckhart about 3 hours later.
Yeah, 3 hours. We looked at Aaron Eckhart's signature, and we went back and forth, and I think we landed on probably secretarial. But man, there's some decent evidence to show that it could be real. But I mean, there was a lot of evidence against it too.
Well, what's one of the things that against it?
Against it? Well,
I
for
can think of
one,
one right off the
the
bat.
amount he signs.
Okay.
He's a decently big star, and he signs a ton. The handwriting, the handwriting is what we really studied. Like, there's some ways that he does the T where he goes and jags a little bit to the right, and that was consistent a little bit in some of the handwriting on the TTMs, because we compared an in-person personalization. But then again, the other letters, and he also connected the T to the following letter. So if it's a capital T, he connected it to like the H that followed it, and that was consistent. But then there was other letters like A and N and stuff in the middle that they look nothing alike, absolutely nothing. And so I would count that as a win for maybe authenticity, because those are more distinct little flourishes at the beginning of the T and stuff, and the little jag from the bottom of the T that are pretty distinct. Stacey, can you remember the big reasons we were against it? Because there were some big ones.
I just think there was some inconsistencies in like cursive and actual written. There was
the heart.
The heart was a couple different.
So,
there was a couple different variations of the heart.
Yeah, there was an in-person signature we found of the heart, and the in-person was one giant, like one pen stroke to do the heart, and all the TTMs were two separate pen strokes, and it was done very distinctly in the same way every time. So that was drawn differently, and I'm trying to think what else. There was another piece of evidence that was against it. We were starting to think maybe some from the some were real and some were fake. We came to that conclusion at one point, and then something threw us off of that.
I think there was wasn't there a dash too?
There was a dash. There was always a dash in his in-persons after the person's inscription, every single one. And granted, we only could find like 3 in-persons that we could validate. And then on all of the TTMs, none of them had a dash. That was a big one. Yeah, you're right, Stacey. I forgot about that one. So we couldn't conclude on it whether they are real or not, but there's some really interesting evidence. If anybody else wants to jump into it and throw some new evidence at us, we'd be open to listen. The signature itself is so wild and calculated that, I mean, they're pretty similar. Like, there wasn't a lot of discrepancies from the signature. So take that for what you will. That's obviously a point in the authentic column, but the handwriting usually gives us away if it's secretarial.
Yeah, I thought the speed that they came back, weren't they only like a short time?
Yeah, that's another reason that's the reason we checked into it, because everybody always sends to him and gets them back quickly.
But see, the one I just got him back too recently, and I think mine was 50 days.
Oh, that's not too fast.
Yeah, I thought he was like a 10-day or 2 weeks.
That definitely was the case back when I was doing TTMs. He was one of the ones you would send to, and you knew you were going to get it back within a couple weeks. We looked at James Earl Jones. Those are definitely authentic. I didn't see any reason to discount those. What else did we look at, Stacey?
Michael Madsen. Wasn't that fun?
Michael Madsen. So we came up with he's a psychotic person.
Yes, he's nuts.
So he signs differently almost every signature, and that's including in persons. He doesn't have a consistent signature. We came up with a tell that we thought was pretty solid, and it's the K at the end of Mike. The K is a very high K above every other letter. It's peaked, and I think, and when he wrote Michael, I think the H was also peaked, like the K was in Mike. So I was like, well, that's the tell right there, because all of his in-persons had that peak. Well, goddamn, Stacey whips out his freaking photos.
Yeah, they're complete. Both of them are completely different.
Yeah, one's a peak and one's not. Explain that shit to me.
Yeah, it depends if he's sober or not when he signs them.
That's what and that's what I said that too. I was like, maybe he has different personalities, like depending on how drunk or like high he is.
Yeah, man, he's like a known guy to show up at conventions, either hammered, partially hammered, or barely hammered. I mean, he's never. I've never heard of him actually being at a convention sober.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I know Jeremy. Jeremy met him at Frightmare and got a katana sign or a sword signed by him. And I think I remember him telling me he was pretty messed up.
So if you guys have any evidence for Madsen, which I'm thinking are legit, I even pulled out. I pulled up one of my Madsens that I have, and it's literally initials. It's MM, and then the other one he signed with the full. It's with the full name. It's like you're making it so hard. That's what she said.
I think if it is a secretary, it's just about as messed up as he is.
Yeah, that's why I think we said lean toward authentic on that one. And there was another one we looked at that was a pretty famous person, a pretty famous TTMer that we came up with authentic pretty fast. What was it? Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember who else. We did Madsen, Jones, Eckhart.
Did you do the great Dick Van Dykes?
Oh, those are secretarial.
Yeah.
That was proven whenever some clever boy decided to write to Mrs. Van Dyke and get and ask for a photo signed by Mrs. Van Dyke and Mr. Van Dyke, and all of a sudden his signature changed TTM on those.
Nice.
So obviously his wife was signing for him, or it has been signing for him since the 90s. So Mary Tyler Moore, I feel like this is the same, although there's not as much evidence on Mary Tyler Moore. I feel like a lot of her stuff from the 90s on out was secretarial, because I've dealt with several signed books of hers, and they look totally different. They're sloppy, and those TTMs that come back are all pristine signatures, almost spelled out to the letter. I think they are spelled out to the letter, actually. And you never saw that in her books unless you sent the books TTM. So I saw some like that, but I'm pretty sure those were sent TTM. So
I can't remember. Was it? We looked at Cosby a little bit. I don't know if that was the one.
Cosby was secretarial.
Oh,
He had some,
no, really?
Yeah, I looked at some of the signed limited edition books that he put out around the time he was signing TTM. And if you look at those, the O and the S, it's like almost like a flat O with a direct line over to make the S.
Yeah.
And all of his TTMs are like somebody had. If Bill Cosby had a seizure, that might be. It's kind of what it looks like if he had a seizure and tried to sign his name. Because the O is you can't even read O on a lot of them. It's just really up and down, jagged. And every single one I found that was signed in person, like in a bookstore, had that O going over. That changed a little bit when he got really up there in age. You know, when he got all the accusations thrown at him and stuff around then. Before then, a little bit before then, it started getting a little shakier. But he was signing shaky and jagged long before that.
Oh, so you're saying my Jello box that I got signed by him is not real? Man,
I don't know. Post it on Star Tiger. I mean, you never know on some of that stuff, because sometimes they're like, "Oh, this is kind of cool. I might actually have Cosby sign this." So, I mean, I would post it on Star Tiger and then kind of compare it, see if it matches the TTM signatures or the book signatures. I'm not saying, I'm not trying to burst anybody's bubble. I'm not saying 100% sure. Don't get mad at me. We're just trying to, look and find evidence here for either or. I would love to say Cosby's real. I have a few Cosbys, it'd be good thing to light on fire and throw in your fireplace for some warmth at night. But how does one get a job as an autograph secretary? Ask Neri. Well, I don't know. I'd say you probably just have like your parent is a friend of the star or something like that, where the person knows a person that knows a person, and you need an internship is probably how it starts out. I don't know. The ones that have been signing since the 90s, man, it's almost always like a wife.
Yeah.
So if they've been signing a secretarial forever, it's either a wife or an agency that has a secretary they're signing. But then usually you'd see a variation because people don't stay in the same job normally for 20 years. So unless it's a really, really good job, and secretary is usually a job you move up from. So Henry says,
yeah, Neary's probably at home throwing the fan mail away.
Yep. Sorry, guys.
No, he's putting the letters back in. Putting the letters back in, saying, "I want $20."
Yeah.
Neary's the guy that's got the big RTS stamp. It's just a big.
Yeah.
Then you get it back in the mail and you shed a little tear because you wasted, 49 cents or 50 cents, however many. I don't even know how much stamps are. That tells you how long I've been out of the game. I don't even know how much stamps are right now.
50.
It's 50.
I can't remember what they were when we started.
22.
22. Mine was 46.
I think it was 22. Yeah.
So what was on your Dale Murphy?
Yeah.
So how long ago was that? And when did you start collecting, Andy?
91.
91.
Yeah.
Man,
the worst part is I've been going to card shows since probably like 89, and I gave up on so many guys I could have got the sign and that were at the shows. And I was like, I don't care about autographs. Then I got my first one at a show and I was like, I like this. And that's when I found out about the TTM.
That's cool.
Down in my life.
Did you use those books they had back then? The address books?
Yeah, the Smalling.
Yep, the Smallings.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden the internet came around and it all ballooned up from there. That's when I branched off into like celebrities.
Yeah, just think if you had the foreknowledge to know how much some of these autographs would be worth, like nowadays, and you were collecting back in like the 80s. Think you could make so much money.
Oh, it kills me because I remember I went to a show in New Hampshire and like Mickey Mantle was up there for like $15 any item. Ted Williams was like $5. I kid you not. It was like, and Joe DiMaggio was like 10 for like any item. And I was like, I don't care about autographs. What the hell are these guys?
Yep. Back then cards were the thing.
Yeah, no,
that was the big thing back then. It was like
my biggest card show regret I ever did. I went to a show. I think it was in Waterloo, but it was the year that Mark Grace won the Rookie of the Year, and he was there signing. No, did he win the Rookie of the Year?
No,
I think it was after his rookie season. But I went up there and I was like so hyped to get his autograph. It was like, I don't know, it was like $20 or $25. And like right by where the stage was where he was signing, there was his dealer there. And he had a ton of basketball cards, and he was trying to pawn off Jordan rookies to me for like it was under $10 a pop. And I'm just like, why would any? It's like I told him, I was like, why would anybody want basketball cards for? Because I mean, they were. I mean, nobody cared.
Yeah,
it's like I could have spent $50 and had probably 6 or 7 Jordan rookies instead of spending the $20 or $25 I was bound determined to get Mark Grace's autograph.
Yep, that's crazy, man. Yeah, you could have. How much are those Jordan rookies going for nowadays?
A ton. I mean, just imagine if any of them were, if you got any of them graded like an 8 or above, even.
Yeah, that would be insane. Yeah, you might be able to retire off of that.
I was just like, that's my biggest card show regret ever.
It's your hawking.
Yep.
Oh man. So Andy, I was telling Stacy I'm thinking about hopping back into TTMs when I want to do it in an ethical way. Since I sell autographs, it's kind of, I don't want to jump in and just write to people, say, hey, I'm a big fan, I want to sell your autograph. So I think I saw this. I'm gonna give a quick of it. There's an old collector that had a really nice collection. I got some of her stuff to sell, and she had these little cards she sent out in the 1920s that had her name on it, and like were really fancy, and would send those out to all the different celebrities to sign. But it was like the card was personalized to you, so the celebrity was more apt to sign it. Well, back then they didn't really care because it was 1920s, but I think now you might be able to get some people that wouldn't sign TTM on a photo or an index card on something that's already personalized to you, proving that you're not going to sell it, you're going to keep it. So I think I'm going to start doing that. I think I'm going to send those little cards out to start. I think that I got to get some really high class, like high quality paper, and I think I'm going to get somebody to design something really cool. A lady that works for me that does some of my flyers for the company, and I think I'm just going to mass send those out with some form letters that are tweaked. That way it doesn't take up a lot of time, and I still get the feeling of Christmas in the mail every day.
Yep.
So
why don't you just start emailing college coaches and asking them instead?
So what?
You start emailing college coaches and asking for signed pitches.
That's how I did it last time. That's how I jumped back in last time. It wasn't pretty. The internet was mad at me. Yeah, they got angry because I was like, I was doing videos. I jumped back into TTMs, did emails because I was a poor college student, and I was getting people back that I couldn't pronounce on video. And they're like, you don't even know who you're writing to. You can't even say their name. So, like, yeah, I'm not doing that again. Not making that mistake. Plus, I actually have some money now that I can actually do regular TTMs. I'm not the poor college student that's, doing emails. So, what are you laughing at?
Hey, me and Andy still butcher names all the time, though.
Oh, I can't pronounce shit. I can't.
Well, I'm not making that mistake again. Like, people get really upset because, a lot of people do this to actually write to people that they admire only. They don't do it as a collecting thing necessarily, as how many numbers wise can I collect. It's more of a personal experience to write to your celebrity and get something back. So those are usually the people that get upset whenever people mass, send things off, like a certain person in our midst.
Yeah, but
what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it's hard for anyone to kind of get into it now, especially doing celebrities.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think you got to kind of know what you're doing. I think,
and you got to have some other, like, you got to reach out into other areas to have some other tastes too.
Actually,
I just can't write to actors and actresses. I don't think it's just not going to work.
No, not this day.
You can branch your knowledge too easily. Though I learned so much stuff writing to people in other areas and science and Nobel winners and stuff like that I didn't even know existed. And once you get stuff back, you learn stuff about people, and I mean, you get smarter as a person because of that. If anybody's looking to get into TTMing, by the way, I recommend Troy Rudder's book. Just look up Troy Rudder autographs on Amazon, and it's a pretty amazing an amazing book for the modern collector. There's a lot of stuff in there that will guide you on your way. We got two Andys.
Hey! Sorry, I'm going around with this thing.
Okay, well, you're on here twice and echoing like hell.
All right, there we go.
Okay, I'm gonna knock the other Andy off.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully I don't knock. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't knock you off too.
No, because I was on my phone before. Now I'm on this.
Actually, you know what? I'll just mute it. I'll mute that other one. Okay. Now can you talk, Andy? Go ahead and talk.
No.
Okay, you're good. Oh, I just didn't want to get. We were getting echo back and forth. I didn't know.
Yeah, sorry. It's showing I'm on two devices. I told you I suck at this stuff.
Oh, you're good, dude. So what you got back there behind you, old Andy boy? What's the best autograph you got behind you?
Well, that's the Breaking Bad one right there. And these are the other Breaking Bad guys right across.
Wait, did they send you like individual photos along? We just keep talking about your Breaking Bad success every time you come on.
No, those are pictures I sent out.
Separate.
There's one I bought, the Saul Bob Olam. I can't freaking point. Odenkirk, then Gus Frayne next to him.
Hank.
What the hell's his name? The guy in the wheelchair with the belt.
Oh. Ding 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 ding.
Damn it! I just
Explodey Man.
Yeah. Well, next to him, then I got Mike.
Oh, nice.
Then right below him, I got Matt Jones, one of the drug guys.
Right.
And I don't know, behind the boxes over there is the guy from the junkyard.
Cool. So you got a little like montage of people from the show around the masterpiece.
Yeah, I'm still working. I got to get back into actually printing off pictures and getting them
he
out.
He just did that because he knew he was going to talk to you tonight.
Yeah, he's put those up.
Now.
Zane will give me a virtual blowjob if I show these off tonight. Pardon my French, boys and girls.
Please explain that. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a fellatio, my friend. Google it.
All right. But yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, what do you guys think about framing autographs? Because if you frame them and you get any sunlight in your like office whatsoever, it can eventually damage the piece.
Not me. I'm down in my bunker in the basement.
Oh, so okay, so you're good. You don't got windows.
Yeah, I don't. I have a few things up, but not very much. I just don't have the wall space with all my damn movie posters everywhere. So
I've had some stuff damaged through the sun. Just usually stuff next to the window. If it's got direct sunlight throughout the day, it's going to get damaged. So whenever you guys hang stuff up on your wall and frame it, always be aware of that because you don't want one of your favorite pieces getting ruined. It's never fun.
Oh, okay. All right, I was wondering why I have an echo too. All right, that's gone.
Yeah, I was gonna eject that other one, but like I was a little afraid to because I was like, is it gonna kick Andy off if I inject it? And I thought it might block your email and you wouldn't be able to get back in. So we're good now.
That's all right.
Wilford Brimley photo got damaged. I actually have a diabetes box signed by Wilford Brimley.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. He's still around, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's still kicking, dude.
Yeah.
He got in the water from the cocoon thing, and now he's still kicking, man. He's gonna be alive. He's gonna outlive us.
Yeah, usually still a pretty good sign rotation, but I have one out that's been out for quite a while.
Yeah, what is he in? Like Wyoming or like he's in the boondocks someplace. Right in his.
I think so.
His horses and cattle driving.
I got him to sign a Seinfeld photo. He was like in one episode of Seinfeld. My goal was there's so many people that guest starred in Seinfeld, and I was thinking I could do a mass photo, 8x10, that just has like the Seinfeld logo, and get it mass signed by as many people that were in Seinfeld, because a lot of people got their starts on Seinfeld, like that became famous actors or comedians. But I got him and Betty White, and I think that was it. No, Betty White wasn't on there. She was on Boston Legal.
Golden Girls.
Yeah, no, Boston Legal is the one. I did the same thing with Boston Legal. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I always wanted to do something like that for Seinfeld. Just send to every little person that was ever on it, because everyone had like a theme on the show.
Yeah, totally. Like it'd be more feasible for me now to do a matte piece, write to as many people as I can that were on the show, get an index card or something signed, and then just do a massive matte piece.
I got him back a couple months ago via Venue.
Who?
Seinfeld.
What? Really? Nice. Yeah. That's a nice success. Did you post?
You can find a venue that'll give him the mail. He'll sign pretty good usually.
That's awesome.
Well, maybe you should do like a Seinfeld book, like a big giant one, and just.
I've done that. I always end up selling them. Never do a personal collection in something that you sell. Because whenever you're hard up for money, you're like, oh, there's a massive book over there I could probably sell for $2,000. I guess I'm selling that for $2,000. Because it's easy. I run a book business. I just list it and it's done. Plus, there's a loophole for capital gains if I've had the autographs for over a year. That's taxed at 0%. So it's like double. It's like everything's pushing me. Like, hey, Sell it. I'm like, fine.
Yeah. It's
So that's
over
why
a
I
year
don't
old.
do that anymore. Because I had some really cool books. I had a Willy Wonka book signed by all the kids and Gene Wilder and the grandpa. But I sold it like a week after Gene Wilder died. Sold it for like $500.
You had that for a while, so I think I remember you getting that. I think.
Yeah, I found a photo signed by like all the kids on Autograph World. I guess it was at a signing. They had a bunch of signings back then.
Yeah.
But, and then I just had to find. I already had the Wilder, and then Mel Stewart signed it too, the director.
Oh, okay.
And I just had to find Grant Paul, and that was it.
Get anything in this week, Andy?
Just a crap load of baseball. Trying to think if it was like anything odd. No, that's what I've been basically doing this whole year is just baseball. But then I always find myself branching off into other things. Now I was going through a box and I came across these, and I'm starting to do these the rock cards. You ever seen these? The rock and roll ones.
Yeah.
Oh, those are cool.
So I've just been sending those like this week. I just found the Sebastian Bach address today. That wasn't on Star Tiger. I kind of tracked him down today.
Nice.
But no, besides that, just baseball. I don't think I got anything else really in. But I you know what? I've been meaning to send out that I got to sit in here for like 3 weeks now. That I had the letter. I just have to do the box. And I'm actually, Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite. Yep. Yeah. I'm gonna get football out to him.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I've just been so lazy to send it out. But you know what it is? I'm trying to find the perfect Sharpie for it. That was the other thing holding me up.
Yeah.
I did a quick search, and people have been saying, was it the Deco markers are good for it? Deco?
I'm not sure. I'm a bad guy to ask. Stacey, do you know?
I haven't sent Sharpies out. I mean, I haven't sent anything big out in so long now.
Yeah, because I want a nice silver one there with the inscription above how he can throw it over the mountains.
That'd be cool.
And he's a really good signer too. So
yeah, he'll probably sign anything you want him to sign or any inscription you want. He's always adding. Almost every TTM I see, he's got inscriptions on them.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I ran out, got a ball, and it's been sitting here ever since.
You know those baseballs that we bought back in the day that were the not knockoff, but the damaged official ones?
Yeah.
They had like little dings in them, and then they were a different model number because they had dings in them. But they were supposedly made out of the same material as the leather MLB balls. But you could buy them like for half or a fourth of the price. Do you know which ones I'm talking about, Stacey?
Yep.
Did you have any problems with fading on those? I had a lot of fading. It might have been the pen that was used. It was Bics. But I researched that before.
I never bought a whole bunch of those. I was always the lame one that went to my sports card shop and paid $12 a ball.
Yeah, see, I wasn't doing that. Yeah, did you have any fading on even the official ones?
There's a couple, nothing real bad.
What about your Twit TV ball? Did that hold up?
I think so. I think I still have that somewhere. I got rid of a bunch of them, but I just found a bag of them that had still down in my parents' basement. But I think that one was in there. I can see if I got him here.
Almost every single one that I had faded, and I'm guessing it's probably the pen that I used instead of the ball. But I didn't know if anybody else that used those balls had the ROB1. That's the one it is. It's exactly the one it is. If anybody else had those baseballs, if they had fading issues, maybe on nose that they didn't have on the official balls. But I'm thinking it was just I picked the wrong pen. I thought I had the right pen.
More like coloring issues with the baseball than I've had with the signature, like this one. Mark Schlereth signed this one. I got like that kind of stuff on some of them.
Oh, really? See, I don't have any of that. That looks like I got bruised.
Yeah, is this the Twit one? Yeah, here's the Twit one. This one.
You just got them laying around. Huh?
This seems fine.
Yeah, that was great. They probably used a different pen because I sent my pen, so they used a different one on yours.
See, this one's held up pretty good. This is just a separate one for that Laporte signed. He signed it and it looks like a Sharpie.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if that fades over the years. But that was already like 6 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't even know what else is even in here.
Stacy's just got like autographs just everywhere. Like he's building his furniture. It's not actual furniture. It's just stacks of like autographs.
Yeah.
And there's Obadi McDowell. There's still an actual baseball player in here.
Oh boy.
I forgot about 5 years ago.
Would you climb the fence to wrestle the autograph away from a dog if it went over, if it was signed by Obadi McDowell?
Probably not. I don't even know what else.
I saw something about the Sandlot the other on the autograph page. Somebody was talking about it. Do you know what I'm talking about, Stacy?
I don't think I saw that, but
was it you that was it you that posted something about Sandlot? No,
I don't think so.
I thought there was somebody that got a success back from one of the guys that we didn't interview. Maybe it was just a Facebook post I saw. It's random. I don't know. Never mind. I thought it was something that was
I got Shane. I can never pronounce his last name. Obadeski or something like that. I got him back, but that was like way long ago. We never talked to him.
This is like yesterday. I saw this. Never mind. I saw something on there and I was like, maybe we could talk about it, but obviously it was not on that page. My mistake. Hello to our 6 viewers. If you guys got any questions about autograph collecting or Stacy Schaefer,
what's in his draw,
he'll answer your questions about himself. So get your most personal questions together and post them in chat. But we're just here chilling, talking about autograph collecting. This is an old autograph podcast page that we kind of resurrected to chat a little bit every once in a while and bring a little bit of the gang back together, rehash old times and the new rules of autograph collecting, which seem to be changing ever so slightly. Does Renna still sign?
I don't know. I'm assuming most of them will still sign. I just don't know if there's just not addresses out because I know Chauncey moved, and I mean I never got his new. I mean I never asked for it, but I never got an address from him, and I don't know if he's still with the same agency or.
Yeah, he just posted a picture of him signing a bunch of because they just released a bunch of the Sandlot cards.
Yeah, because they've been out touring all. This is a 25th anniversary this year, so they've been out and about touring.
Yeah, they've got con written all over them. Like
they've been doing some sports shows. They were in Chicago's big show back in May or June. 4 or 5
the Fanatic show.
Yeah.
Hey, there's your question, Stacy. Go and answer that question, buddy. I'll read it to you so you can answer it.
I saw it.
Stacy's. No, I'll read it to you so you can answer it. Stacy's, if you are big into the adult film world or worn underwear, who is your favorite adult film star? I love it. Keep the questions coming, friends.
Hey, it's got to be the one we interviewed. It's got to be Brie.
Chauncey? Yeah, Brie Olson. It was a little surreal talking to somebody that you had
Trump's
seen
girlfriend.
prior work of. Put it that way.
I got Stormy a couple of times in the past. I actually have a TTM out to her now, but I don't know if it's going to come back.
Good luck with that. She's got some
Texas, so I tried it.
Just to piss off some of our viewers that don't agree with politics. This isn't a political thing, really. It's just something she's selling that's signed. I saw a Stormy Daniels signed "Make America Great Again" hat, and like it has "great" like X'd out and "horny" put under it.
Yeah,
and then she signs her name. It was like $150. I thought that wasn't bad. Like if you really wanted like a conversation piece, that'd be a pretty good one.
No, she's not related. She's not related to Jeremy.
Yeah,
That's not even her last name.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, G4?
Hey,
Haven't
Chris.
seen you around in a while, bud. So yeah, shoot your personal questions to Stacey. That was a good one. Crazy.
So
I
who
appreciate
is
that one.
so who is Crazy Knights 81?
It's actually the brother of Crazy Knights 80. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I don't know who it is. It looks a little familiar, and I mean, I'm not sure if you went under a different moniker maybe back in the day, or, but nice to have you here, trolling Stacy. I appreciate it.
And for the
anyways.
record, I'm not the only one that had those.
What, worn underwear from porn stars?
Yeah, I know somebody that's probably got a bunch more than I ever got.
I know who you're talking about too.
Yep.
Yeah, if his house ever caught on fire, like that would be a major accelerant to the pile of panties that are in that man's house.
He got toys too.
Oh, God, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
He lives there. He lives there on the East Coast there, Andy.
I think so, and he travels to Vegas a lot.
Nope, not that one.
Oh, okay.
You could clone an entire army of whores from what's in his house.
Hair on the top?
What's that?
Is this person missing a little hair on the top?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh man. So I've seen a lot of gaming autographs lately. I don't know if you guys have even jumped in that realm of writing to any like developers or even like e-gamers. Have you
I've been doing some like developers and heads of company. I mean, I ordered some photos for some like some top streamers, but trying to find their addresses and stuff is a bit of a challenge. But I mean, I've gotten back Phil Spencer recently, Pete Hines from Bethesda. I've been doing a bunch of like voice actors too.
I've been watching some of this content. They have the e-gaming on ABC and stuff now, like just randomly, and ESPN has some. And it's actually decently riveting. I'm kind of surprised. I think it might actually take off here in the next few years. So maybe some of the people that are e-gamers and whatnot now might be big names that are impossible to get, in 15 years, 10 years. We'll see.
It's like amazing how many people, guys, like actually go and watch this. I mean, we had it in Boston, I don't know, probably 6 months ago, and it was there for a week at the Garden with like the Celtics and Bruins playing. They sold out every single day.
That's awesome.
Just to watch guys playing.
Yep.
Well, I know Twitch and Mixer are so damn popular right now.
Have you watched that drone league where they fly the drones?
Yeah.
That's crazy awesome. Like I was addicted to watching that for a while.
I don't know how they fit between those little, like, they have to go side. It's like the Millennium Falcon flying through like the Death Star is going up, down, left. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, I mean their reflexes have to be crazy fast. And they kind of have to memorize the track. I'd say that they do some pre-runs and kind of get used to the track, and then they just gotta, when you see it, you gotta move it. It's crazy.
I still like BattleBots though. It's been popping up a lot lately.
Yeah, they just got done shooting a new season of that. That's where someone that used to work IGN is hosting it now. Naomi Kyle.
We could talk a little bit about since I guess you guys don't really do the gamers, famous murderers. I know we talk about this a lot usually, but I've been watching Forensic Files like crazy while I work because it's interesting to have on in the background. And I found some people that like wrote books before or after that are signed, especially the ones before, because usually people don't know who they are if they have them. And you can find them decently cheap. And, if you advertise it as a murder autograph, then it's going to sell a lot better, obviously. So do you guys have any murderers in your collection? Like maybe they weren't murderers until later, when they ended up being a murderer, or you wrote to somebody that had already murdered somebody. We just talked about Bill Cosby, so I guess it's like, you know.
I don't know. I think the only one I've ever had is OJ.
Still waiting for my OJ to come back.
What are you talking about, Stacy? OJ was innocent.
I know.
Wasn't convicted.
The glove didn't fit.
Must have quit. No, I wanted to
send him. You should have sent him a shrunken isotoner, Andy.
Yeah, I know, huh? No, I wanted to do something, just sending to all like the lawyers and actually all the witnesses for that trial.
I did that.
I just saw it because Shapiro's been signing. I saw. I do have a couple athlete Baileys.
I did a matte piece.
I have Johnny Cochran, so it was like I wanted to branch off of that. I
did a matte piece of all of them with OJ in the middle. It sold for like $700 or something like that. But it was like almost all the lawyers. I didn't do the prosecution. I only did the defense. But it was like the dream team minus Kardashian, because I couldn't find a Kardashian.
Yeah, because eBay has some nice pictures of it. I think it's OJ, Cochran, and Shapiro.
Yep. And then there were some other people on the team. Dershowitz was on the team. He wasn't in the trial.
Yep.
And then there was like Sheck, who did the DNA stuff. Or sorry, G4 asked about playbills.
Yeah.
I haven't started. I may start doing some of them again when I get back to work full time. Because there's been some people I try to get individuals via venue and haven't had no luck. And I've seen people get the playbills back that I wish I would have sent for the playbill instead. But
didn't they start cracking down? They started cracking down on that when I left.
Some theaters still do. Some theaters will ask for a donation, but there's still. God, there was a couple of big ones this early spring and summer that no one's gotten successes from the individuals, but they've gotten the playbills back. And there was a couple of pretty decent people on those. I just can't remember who they were now.
Well, those are most likely pre-signed, right? And then they just send them out as they need to.
I would
have a big stack of them. So they probably just don't forward mail to the dressing rooms in some places.
I mean, I had some decent ones when I had mine, but I sold all mine as a lot. And
you damn eBay seller! Get the hell out of here!
I wish I would have sent them. I wish I would have saved some of them.
I never understood getting playbill. I've gotten playbill, but by individual signers, I just couldn't like. It drives me like I wouldn't enjoy if it had like 30 guys on it, and the one guy you want is writing like this big, so he has to cram it in there.
Yeah.
And it's surrounded by, say 20 other people that you never ever heard of, or they'll ever do anything.
You know what I did with most of my playbills? I cut the good signatures out and I matted them and I sold them. And it sold pretty well. So that's something you can do with your playbills if you have any matting skills. That's an option. If you don't like the whole, mass of autographs and a bunch of people who will never be famous.
Plays are still a decent way to get via venue, though. I mean, I've gotten several. It's just not super big. Like I know that Chris Evans and
Chad Duvall does a lot.
Yeah. Because I know there was just Denzel's on Broadway, but Denzel never signs it no matter what. I mean, we've gotten Lithgow signs extremely well via plays. I mean, I've gotten Laurie Metcalf recently, Allison Pill. I'm trying to think who else I've gotten.
Damn, I sent to Metcalf via venue. Is that how she signs all the time, or does she have a regular address?
Because I've always been good.
I lost my stuff. I sent to her, and it was signed by I had something signed by Oliver Stone, and I think
I remember
a guy that was in JFK, and I lost it.
I remember it when we killed Oliver Stone.
Say what?
You remember when we killed Oliver Stone?
Yeah. Yeah, we did that with many addresses, my friend.
No, we actually killed him.
What?
One of
He's
us, I
still
don't
up.
remember who it was. I don't know if it was me
That was...
or Jeremy or who it was. But somebody got a success back from like his handler or whatever and said he was dead.
Okay, I don't remember that. That's kind of funny. I thought we just meant we dried up the address. That's awesome.
No, he actually got it. I can't. It might have been. I don't. It must have been Jeremy.
That's funny. G4 got one with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, peace sign. He's done playbills before.
Playbills, I mean, like, and you always keep this other signatures if you do cut it up, because some of those people might eventually go on to do something. But I find more of the people that start out in Broadway usually stay on Broadway. They might do a few TV shows here and there, but they usually don't become big stars. Usually the big stars that are in Broadway became big stars in TV and movies. And then like, I think I want to expand my repertoire. I'm going to do Broadway. And they go do a show on Broadway. So it's most likely you're not going to find somebody that becomes famous from Broadway, but you might. I mean, I wonder if you know what? I wonder if these like web shows. There's a bunch of web shows now, like on YouTube, and they get millions and millions of views. I wonder if they would send out cast sign photos, because I noticed there's a lot of talent crossing over from like these smaller shows into bigger stuff, and you'd be a lot more likely to get some hit big on one of those.
Yeah, I tried. My kids like a year ago are huge into Dude Perfect, and I asked for like a signed like group picture and never heard back from them.
Well, did you send it email, or did you send the?
I sent a letter to the main guys. I found his home address actually, and I think it was Houston, and I sent it there.
I found that YouTubers are very iffy on privacy. Like, they're very private people, so that would probably be the wrong way to go about that. You would probably need to find whatever agency reps him, because whenever they get that big, they always have an agency. And if you write to the agency, you're probably a lot more likely to get a response. Just think about it. I mean, the internet is a great place and a disgusting, filthy rat's nest of a horrible, there's a lot of creepy people. And whenever you deal with millions of people every day, they see the worst of that crap. These celebrities are shielded from that. But if you're on the internet and you're a web star, you see that every day. So you're a lot more, you also don't have personal security that a lot of these big stars have. So when it comes to privacy and security, if they get a message or a letter in their personal mailbox, I could see where they would be a lot more likely to be like, nope. And I'm keeping that person on a list. So if I see their name again, then, I might have to do something. I can see them reacting that way.
Because they're basically just being thrusted into the limelight.
Yeah, it's a rocket ship.
100 views to 1 million in like overnight.
Yeah, they got thrust into space, and then they don't got any support. I mean, it's changing a little bit, but like, I would definitely write to, if you're writing those places, write to the production companies, or you let them have management that would handle that stuff, I would think.
Yeah, I was more looking at it like they would be impressed. They'd be like, "Oh, someone actually wants me," or
no.
They
know people want their autograph. I watch shows that have maybe a couple of 100,000 fans, which isn't a lot, and they have meetups and stuff, and they get bombarded with people wanting autographs. So even at that level, which is a very small level, you people want autographs. So I don't think that, like, once they're over 1 million, like, they know that people, they don't feel that, oh, somebody wants my autograph, I feel special. That's gone. That was gone a long time ago.
Well, yeah, but I went the approach. It was like, it wasn't for me. I was like, it's for my kids that are huge fans. Can you? Because I've done that a few times with like monster truck guys that we would see them and I'd be like, oh, my kids really want a couple signed pictures. Problem. Right. So I wasn't like trying to be like, stop.
No, I'm not saying you were. I'm saying getting the letter in their personal, they will definitely
put their names on the SACE coming back. So I was hoping that approach would have worked too.
Right. Yeah, I would go through the management company. I don't know if they might recognize your name though and be like, this guy wrote me twice. Call the police.
Whoa. My internet's like going in and out here.
Yeah, you're a little choppy, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I can still understand you.
And I got shouted out. I got shouted out twice on Instagram yesterday for a request I sent out.
Oh, bad?
No good.
Oh, good.
One was do you remember Brian Pillman?
Yeah.
His son. He's an indie wrestler now. And then I got a guy. I don't know. Do you know what Collider Video is?
No.
It's an internet. You kind of like an internet YouTube podcast. They cover like entertainment news and shit. It's kind of like it's sort of the entertainment version of Twit.
Oh, okay.
But I got somebody on there. I sent to him because he's a stand-up. He's a stand-up comedian and he wrestles too. He's a indie wrestler.
That's a good combination.
Yep, he's a TV host. He's a indie pro wrestler and he's a comedian.
And Stacy politely asked for his underpants.
No,
slightly stained. Slightly stained.
He was in Chicago. Like shit, this was way back. Because I just looked, this success had been out 124 days, and he just shouted me out at Instagram yesterday saying he got it. So I don't know, the venue must have sent it to him or something. I must have not got it there in time for it to get to the venue.
Yep, that happened.
They must have been nice stuff and sent it to him, but
that happened to me with the cast of Pete and Pete, The Adventures of Pete and Pete.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They had a big reunion show, which are great to write to, by the way. Nobody thinks about that. When they have reunion shows with old TV shows sent to the venue, I sent it too late, but the event went so well. I got a letter back from the director of Pete and Pete. That was cool on its own. And he's like, I got your back. He said, we're doing another one of these in Los Angeles, and I'll get everybody to sign a poster and send it your way. Sure enough, when it came around, it's exactly what he did. And I got a full signed poster by everybody that was there. Yeah,
I know. I just got not too long ago. I don't know. I think he was the owner of a comedy club. I think I'm trying to remember who I sent to. It might have been trying to get Mick Foley via venue, and the letter didn't get there. Cool. And the letter didn't get there in time. But he sent me a message on Instagram and told me that he'd keep the letter there, so when he comes back again, that he'll give it to him.
Mick Foley sent you a message on Instagram?
No, not him, not Mick Foley. The manager of the club.
Oh, okay. I was like, Mick Foley message? How is this not the main part of the...
Because my letters always have my Instagram and Facebook and Twitter on there. So,
well, that's cool, man.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever gotten a phone call from any guy ever call you back? Like, I don't leave my phone number in my letters, but has anyone ever tracked you down and called you?
Not on my end. How about you? Cecil?
No, I've gotten. Just contacted through social media. Maybe a couple of. I probably my most famous one when I had my website one of my websites up, and back in the day when we were writing all the Walking Dead people, I had Melissa McBride send me an email.
Man, I had better luck on my phone. Man, my internet sucks.
No, you're fine, dude.
Nah, you guys kept breaking up. I didn't hear a single word you just said.
Well, I was just saying that probably the one I recall the most back when I had one of my websites. I don't remember, it was a long time ago when we were back writing to the Walking Dead people. I had Melissa McBride email me from my website telling me she got my stuff.
Yeah, she agreed to be on our show too.
Yeah.
No, because I had a guy years and years ago, probably like 10, 15 years ago. He was like a World War II veteran that I sent to, and he actually called my house trying to find me and left a long voice message on my answering machine or my voicemail telling me to call him back, and he wants to talk about the olden days.
Oh, did you call him back?
No.
Yeah. It'd be a little awkward because you probably hyped yourself up in the letter being like, yeah, no, I'm a big World War II buff, and you're not. So you get on the phone with him, and it's like, so how'd you beat Germany?
Yeah. How was it fighting in Vietnam? What? Oh, wait, wrong one. No, my wife got the voicemail and she called me. She's like, "What are you doing?" I have no idea.
Barbara, I'm just trying to talk to old men from World War II. Is that so weird?
Yeah, I know. What? Like, seriously, this happens every day.
I did have a former Iowa basketball player deliver the science stuff to my door one time though.
Okay, that beats a phone call, Stacy.
I was just getting ready to go to work that day, and I'm like getting ready to walk out there, and someone's knocking on my door, opening up, and I'm like, okay, this is awkward. I'm like, because I knew who it was as soon as I opened the door. I'm like, because he only lived like probably half a mile from my apartment, and he's like, well, since you live so close, I'm just going to drop these off to you.
Yeah, see, that's my biggest fear because, like, former Celtic Dana Barrows has a basketball camp about a mile from my house. He just built it, and I'm like,
I just got him.
I'm afraid to send to him because I'm afraid he's just gonna walk to my house and just show up, and I'll be completely clueless. Like, there's like maybe 3 former Patriots that live in my town, and it's like I hate to send to them. Like, they're just gonna randomly show up and be like scared shitless. They're like.
Solution: get a PO box. It's $25, and there's mass send out to all those people that you're afraid of, and then boom, and they won't know that they live right next to you.
Yeah, as I have a PO box now.
That's way off from everything else.
Yeah, I have a PO box too. PO boxes are nice if you got one next to you. If a post office next to you. Some people are kind of far away from them.
Mine's about 2 blocks. That's the benefit of living in a town of 600 people.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the same, dude. Yeah, same here. Like, I feel your vibe. Like, everybody here has a golf cart because they don't want to drive their cars around and waste gas.
Yeah, we have several old people that have those in town.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Like, get your like golf cart license renewed. Like, they make announcements about it, like in the paper and stuff. Like, remember to get your golf cart licenses renewed. There's no golf course here. It's just people ride golf carts everywhere.
Yeah, we don't have a course either.
How many DUIs do they issue every year for driving a golf cart?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Probably 0.
And they hand them out in Iowa City nightly recently. For drunk football players driving mopeds. we just had one get picked up, I think Saturday night, and this dude's a big ass guy. I mean, I don't even know how he fits on a moped, but he got picked up for a OWI with 2 other football players on the moped with him. And he's an offensive lineman. He's like 6'7". He's a big ass dude.
We're missing some chats here, guys. I'm just gonna go back here a bit. Henry said he went to see the Jerry King Lawler's son committed suicide in jail.
Yeah, he was in. They had him in isolation for like over 30 days for some reason.
Yeah, he got arrested for DUI.
You think that's what's that disease with the brain injury?
CTE.
Yeah, you think that maybe?
Man, it wouldn't surprise me.
It seems like a lot of wrestlers meet the same demise over and over again.
I mean, he's had a lot of run-ins with the law before, but
well, that's part of CTE too, right? Though your random violence outbursts.
Yeah, we have a famous guy like that. His name is Aaron Hernandez, like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I just bought an autographed picture of him too, right, like 6 months ago. It's him and Gronk, and I'm like, all right, next time Gronk's doing a sign, I got to add him to this.
Hey, there's Andy's notorious autograph.
G4 said 3 wrestlers died within 2 days.
Yeah, it was
Nikolai Volkov.
Christopher Volkov, and then there was I think he was an indie wrestler.
Go to deadwrestlers.net. That's where I always go. Oh, they haven't added them yet. Oh, man. They got Vader on there though.
Oh, Vader, that yeah.
Let's see.
I was surprised Volkov was only 70. I thought he was older than that.
And I was shocked he's not really Russian.
Yep.
Big bully Busick. Who's that?
That
guy?
was a
Sammartino died. I didn't know about that.
yeah.
Oh, that's been a while though.
Yeah, that's been a while back. Big Nick. I don't know.
Can't remember who the other one was.
Henry says, I've got 2 phone calls from NASA scientists. I don't know, dude. That'd be freaking me out a little bit if I'm getting phone calls from people.
Especially from scientists. There's no way you can hold up that conversation.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I'm a fan of yours. Oh, really? So what do you think about the equation that got us to the moon? The EX plus... I'm just like, no!
Well, if you added pi to the equation, it would have worked better.
Yeah, and you're just like, I like pie.
Yeah.
Pie is delicious. G4 talked to a few via Messenger. Sorry, guys. I know this is delayed. We kind of been ignoring chat on accident. I actually wrote to via Messenger a guy from a reality show. You remember that show, My Big Fat Obnoxious Fiance?
Yes.
Yeah. So that show, I was wanting to get. I found the brothers like instant messaging stuff. So I sent him an email, and then we chatted on MSN Messenger, and he sent me a signed photo and a signed letter from him, a signed photo of his sister, who was the main character on the show, or main person on the show. So I used MSN once with a celebrity, and we've had a bunch of celebrities on Skype through our podcast. So, did any of you guys find decent Blu-rays at Dollar Tree?
That's probably related to me. Yeah. My Dollar Trees here suck. They never put stuff out when they're supposed to put them out. And
Stacy, do you have any voodoo codes?
I have somebody on Instagram that usually buys them from me.
Ah, you bastard! It's gonna try to get some from you.
Because I was like, it recoups a little bit of the money I spend every week. My Tuesdays aren't cheap.
That person definitely flips them for profit because that's a big business right now.
But I mean, she gives me okay for them. She gives me like 4K codes. She'll give me seven or so bucks for them. And
oh yeah, that's not bad. That's about what they sell for. So yeah,
and she gives me $4 or $5 for standard, so it's not too bad.
I live near a GC and neighbors have a cart, but that's it. Hernandez got me in hot water with another tuber. I don't know what that means, Henry. What you been up to, Henry? Causing trouble. G4 says Brick House Brown. Oh, the wrestler that died. Bruno died, and 3 WWE wrestlers canceled our con, so I missed out on Booker T. I actually saw Booker T and didn't go take a picture with him. He was at a con that I went to with Flair. I took a picture with Flair instead of Booker T.
I met Booker a long time ago too. Back in the WCW days, right when he was getting his singles push.
He's an oversigner. He's totally watered down his market, and it's not really worth anything for the signature at this point. That's what happens sometimes. Unless you're like Ric Flair and you're iconic, I mean, then it's almost impossible to ruin. I shouldn't say that. Pete Rose has managed to ruin his signature, even though he's iconic. That's the one man. I can't think of anybody who has ruined a signature more than Pete Rose. Because he was banned from the MLB. Oh, did Andy drop?
I think we must have lost him.
He might hop back on here in a second. Pete Rose is the one guy who is obviously a legend. He has the all-time hit record. And he put out, first off, he signed conventions for years and years and years because he couldn't be associated with the MLB. Mm-hmm. And then he started selling autographs after he admitted to betting in baseball, which was a big boost in his autograph selling because he signed like I bet on baseball and signed his name. And then he did the ultimate which you never do if you want to keep any value in your signature. He released a trading card set that's all Pete Rose, and every single box has a signed card in it. And the boxes were like $30. So, like, no matter what, if you go buy a box of these cards, you're guaranteed to get a Pete Rose autograph. So right there, that puts your autograph, the minimum, at $30, and you know it's going to go lower than that because that's what the brand new box is going for. So that's the one I can think of that's ruined their signature the worst. That's iconic. You think of anybody, Stacy, that's really watered down?
I don't think so. I mean, he'd be the first person I would think of too.
Trying to think if any basketball players fit that description.
Football players. The best thing with him is that he'll sign any inscription you want for money, so you can always come up with something.
Yeah, but have you seen how much he charges?
It's like
he puts out that set, and then he charges like starting out. I went and saw Pete Rose live, where he talks about baseball and stuff. Is really cool. And starting out, like his signatures were like $100, or like no, it might have been 100, it might have been $60 or $80.
I was thinking they were 69 or 79.
Yeah, something like that to start out with. I'm like, no, dude, you've already ruined it. You can't do that. At that point, you're only selling stuff to old people that don't know what autographs are worth. Like, that's the only people, and there's not a lot of those people around because a lot of people have the internet now. And they're like, oh no, I'll just go buy one on here instead of getting one signed by you. So, you guys in chat, think of anybody that saturated the market so much that the value's gone down. Booker T is one. He's done so many cons, and he's had several books, and he's done a lot of every card set that's a wrestling set has Booker T in it.
Yeah.
I feel like Hogan's have been saturated a bit. He does a lot of not cons, but he does a lot of signings. He's also in almost every wrestler card set, and
but you can get his autograph anytime you want to. You just got to get it through his store. You just got to email the dude in charge of the store and what you want to send him, and he'll tell you the price.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's not cheap. I mean, low end is the lowest thing is $40, and it works its way up.
Jimmy Carter's, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter, he's wrote like 30 books, and in doing that, has signed I think he just goes to church, and then he comes back from church and just sits at a table, and then there's just a line of people that just file through just consistently until it's time to go back to church. I think that's Jimmy Carter's life at this point. And then he leaves a block open at night to sign TTMs. So yeah, that's a real good one actually. Jimmy Carter. I didn't think about that one. James Earl Jones, I would say, would be up there, but like his stuff still sells well, especially since it's scarce now. Like he's not signing anymore, really.
That's a nice pull on the Danica McKellar, Henry. But she doesn't sign hardly anything besides books.
I do matte pieces of her all the time.
I know. I need to buy the one you have on your.
Yeah, go have at it, buddy.
That's about the only way you can get her, though. But that's about the only thing she'll sign her books.
Let's see. We're at about an hour and 20 minutes. Do you want to go ahead and wind this episode down?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. This is just a little get together we're having of the old gang, talking about autographs. We'll see what it morphs into over the next few weeks. We're going to try to do it every 2 weeks. So we're shooting for. So we're not really honoring our name at this point, but
maybe eventually.
Yeah, maybe eventually. We'll see. We're kind of just seeing who's available to hop on here and talk. It's hard to get people, together on one day, but Tuesdays around this time is when you can expect us. And like I said, right now it's only every 2 weeks, so it's not every week; it's every 2 weeks. So it's autographed bi-weekly. But all right, we'll call it at that. And thanks to you guys for watching. Thanks for Andy for joining us and leaving like a little jerk.
That damn East Coast internet.
Yeah, it's the internet, man. It couldn't stand the powerfulness of the Autograph Weekly gang. That's not true at all. And he just has crappy internet. That's it. All right, we're gonna get off here. I'm gonna stop rambling. I promise. Anything to say,
Alrighty,
Stacey?
guys. We will talk to you in a couple weeks again, and stay tuned.
Yep. And I may stream on here in between then. We'll see. It depends how I feel. I love you guys. Bye.
See ya.